Ishu Adukte, Chief Bill of the EX.
My name is Diane Selanoff. I'm originally from Port Graham, Alaska.
I have many names. I got my church name is Nikolai. My nickname is Sweeney, but I prefer to call Swin.
I am a Chugach member, I'm an EAC member, and I'm also the Vice President of Valdez Native Tribe. I'm a member on the Alaska Native Health Board and the National Indian Health Board out of Washington, D.C.
I'm from Chiniga. I'm a Supiak, and I grew up in Chiniga until the 64 earthquake, and we relocated after the 64 to another Supiak village, which is the Titlik, where my mom is from.
I work as an HR human resources representative for the oil industry, and that's basically transporting oil from the North Slope out into the ships. And I do that as my day-to-day job, but my passion is with my culture, with who I am and who my ancestors were and where we came from. And so I dedicate a part of, my adult life to that. I have 4 children. I have 3 grandchildren, and I want them to be able to identify with who they are and where they came from and what their language and their culture is all about.
I've been sitting on the elders board for the last probably 2-3 years, and that's where I started getting excited about our culture.
I'm involved because I'm also involved in Native veterans issues, and I'm involved in the Native language, trying to preserve it for the rest of the EX, and we figure there's a little over 400 and some right now, because you cannot have culture without language, and you cannot have language without culture.
We had known for some time that the Elders Council wanted to get together and go to other places where our artifacts might be held and look at those artifacts and see how they pertain to us and what we recognized from them. And one of the things I wanted to do was come down and see those artifacts, maybe for historical purposes, but also for reconstruction and to understand our cultural history better.
I've worked with Chugach for about 20 years on a variety of different projects. This trip to Berlin has been a real highlight. I feel like we've put a small group of elders together. I wish we had had more, but I think that the way that the conference has turned out, the 3 people we had were the perfect number and an incredible quality.
How do you tell an 8-year-old you cannot speak your language, or even? So I never thought about it then. But even then, this was back in the 60s, and our culture was, I think at that point, was starting to be taken away because there was no dance, there was no cultural stuff.
When I came here to look at the collections, I wasn't sure exactly what I would find or what I would see, but I was especially tickled that a large percentage of the artifacts we saw that were put out for us were from my husband's community. And there were also some tools there that I didn't recognize, but, looking at them and exploring them, trying to understand, what their uses were, it was an epiphany moment for me because those are still tools I can use today. Yes, we are now in the 20th century, but the tools that were, collected in the 18th century can still be applicable. They're very simple, they're very basic, but they serve their purpose and they serve it well. And I'm going to try it when I get home.
You prepare your visits into the museums, you look at publications, you know a few of the items you want to see, you look in the databases, you have sometimes photographs of the items, but when you go there and you see the real, it's always a surprise because they are always different, the photographs.
When I was able to see the articles that they've had from Alleganic, from the EAC people, it was like they were speaking to me. And it was pretty emotional. But it was nothing compared to putting on the shaman's coat and putting on the hats and touching the articles and realizing that some of the artwork that I do on my drums and the artwork I do on my drawings, they come from there.
It would take me another week or two, maybe a month to look at them in detail and get the history behind them, because some of them I didn't recognize. I didn't recognize the hat. I did not know he wore that kind of hat. I see this as a blessing in a way, because of they didn't take him in the 1800s. We would have never seen him, and I've never seen that hat before, and I almost got the chills when I put it on. Just I can't believe, because my mom and dad never talked about it. So, but I am very excited to go home.
I have a responsibility now because I know. So my job is to make sure that the 7 generations from me know that this stuff is here. Give them all the tools that they know it's here and where it's at. Because we don't know the 7 generations behind us that took care of us. And then, like I said, when my mom passed away, apparently we were supposed to be dead, but we were just playing possum.
I think that's part of our plea today, at least a plea from me, is because many of you are associated with museums and archives and all of that, and in some cases you may not realize what's there, or somebody may have not had a chance to catalog those items, and we would have been content with knowing, if we received an inventory of this is what we have, and then to receive a picture of that is also even better. And then at some point in time, if we're able to send, a delegation out to come in and observe and feel and look and smell and touch these items, would even be the best. But it would even be, pretty awesome that we could bring some of our other elders here too, so that they could, if they have a memory or a connection with them, that they can explain it. But also, so we could look at duplication of these artifacts. If we don't collect now, if we're not aware of what's out there now, with our generations, not only could we lose the language, but the culture and the belief systems and all of that. So we're very close, and so, it is kind of a desperate plea that if, you're aware or you hear of any, share it with us. We'd like to further investigate ourselves too.
You have the power to keep this thing going. You have a vote to say, you just need to go out and promote. So you can come back to this museum. There are in Germany at least 4 other incredible collections. So find a way.
So that's where I say that you gave me the knowledge that it's here. Now I'm charged with taking it forward, whatever it takes to do it. Because 2 days ago I knew nothing, and I was happy. But now I see, I've been doing some of the same stuff, but look, this is kind of different. This is something I can do. This is something that I can bring to the 7 generations.
We're currently in the process of preserving our culture and our language, but in order to do that, the artifacts are a part of our history that we needed to see what those were and how they pertained to us then and today.
And someday it may be possible if a museum was built for the EAC people to have some of those articles come back and share on EAC land.
I think one of the one of the things I would like to see for them to come here and see them handle them and experience what I experienced. I've got a granddaughter now who's like, I got three of them, 13, 11, and 3. And they are more culturally aware and than I was when I was their age. So, but seeing them get into it makes me excited. So I've never got excited about it because nobody really wanted us, nobody was into it. So I just grew up in the Western world, but now I look back on it and I want to do that.
This trip over here with Helen and them and Susan and the whole museum and all you people, it has awakened a bigger spirit inside. And it not only awoke it in me, you know, we talk about preserving this, preserving that. Well, I took all the pictures and I put them on Facebook. And now I got 40 or 50 EAC people asking questions. You know, some of them say that, great, we found something, because we never knew nothing existed.